Good old Melbourne winter weather. Rain and more rain has made the track extra slippery for tonight's racing. Most of the teams have changed to wet weather tyres, except for the Oryx Audi team, who have taken a gamble that the track will dry out and is leaving its racing slicks on both cars. Good luck, fellas. This fickle Melbourne weather, oh, anything could happen. Also needing a bit of luck is new Super Tourers competitor Melinda Price. You might remember her unfortunate non-start in the last race when her Inspired Racing Box Hill College of Tape Toyota Corolla, try saying that quickly, caught fire on the grid. But don't you worry about Melinda. She's used to being in the hot seat after plenty of experience as a champion go-karter and Bathurst driver. Melinda is enjoying her switch to the Super Tourers class and doesn't mind the drive at night under lights.
Yeah, it's a bit different. It's the track's fairly well lit, so it's pretty good. It's just nice and cool, but I'm still getting used to the track and the car, and any lap's a good lap, so I just love it.
Yeah, terrific stuff. Melinda Price has got the right attitude, a terrific fire there, and got out of the car pretty quickly, as you saw in the first of the races here, but she's got a terrific amount of experience in go-karts and has driven in a 12-hour at Bathurst, so I hope she can handle the rain. Now, this man is very worried about the rain. We'll come back to that. Murphy, Ellery, Brabham, Allen, Richards, Jones, Morris and Moore.
Now, Ellery, just fantastic effort in qualifying, knocked off the two factory BMWs, but I can tell you he's a little bit concerned about running in the wet. He hasn't driven the car on wet weather tyres, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes.
Brabham, Allen back in the pack. Richards down on the grid here. Absolutely has been pouring here at Calder Park. There's the race details of the track.
Yes, and it's going to be, watch for them coming onto the front straight. They cross the drag strip, and it's going to get very slippery there.
Yeah, shades of Eastern Creek in Sydney. So lined up now, very wet track, and the two Audis have gone out on slicks. That is a very brave move. They've either got a great pipeline into the weather, man, I don't know. Ellery gets bogged down, doesn't go anywhere. Allen's the same way. We see Richards come through in the Alpha. Morris with a bolting start. Morris has come from nowhere. We'll get a look at him in a moment.
Yes, he started 7th, had a terrible qualifying session.
And that's Morris there. Now, you saw what sort of vision they've got through the windscreens. Unbelievable, but can you believe it? Look at the Audi start, and they're on slicks.
I'm just amazed the way they got off their line there with dry tyres on.
Back with Tony Scott on the Volvo. That's what he's looking at. Wow, how do you see through that? Once the lights are on the circuit and once the bright brake lights come on, you can hardly see a thing. The Audi's still in front.
One thing they might have to watch out for is, as the race goes on, the windscreen's fogging up, which will make visibility even worse than what it is now.
Field steams through. You're right with Graham Moore in the Bellray Opal. Well, he's got a bit better vision as he's back a little bit now, but this rain absolutely belting down. There's the Volvo estate wagon up in front of him. Ellery just, tippy-toeing around. This surface very, very slippery.
Yes, closes right up onto the Volvo. Volvo looks like it was understeering there, very hard to get the power down.
Good battle going on between Yokohama, Dunlop, Michelin in these conditions. And look at Ellery. He gets a little sideways there.
And that's exactly what we're talking about. When they come across the drag strip, the fluid or the formula they put down to help the traction for the drags just makes it very slippery in the wet.
Well, I've got to say, we'll have another look at the way they're handling these conditions.
This is Hardman's Hyundai. Oh, gives Pickett a nice little nudge, flicks him out of the way and gets on with the job.
Well, as you can see, you can hardly see. Look at the rain now, absolutely bucketing down. The Audi still in front. What a drive.
Yeah, this is absolutely amazing. I would have thought by now they were coming in for wet tyres, but that Quattro system obviously is working very well. But I think they're holding him up. Looks like Morris and Brabham are getting held up by Jones.
Jones, Murphy have done a terrific job in the Audis, there's no doubt about that. Remember, they are on slick tyres, and this rain, you can see for yourself, absolutely belting down. Morris now decides he'll have a look up on the outside, now hoping to perhaps get a run up the inside. There he goes, darts in there now. Remember, he's got to have better traction. Jones doing a great job on slicks, Brad Jones. Plenty of ticker.
Yes, Morris, I'll tell you what, they get one little nudge though with the dry tyres on. These guys will be off into the boonies.
Murphy, the Kiwi, probably used to driving in conditions like that over in New Zealand. Now they put the power down and the Audis lose nothing.
You know, when you go to work with Valvoline,
Very damp Calder Park. Morris now. Morris still trying to get his way past Jones. Morris in the BMW. Jones in the Audi. Look at the rain bucketing down. He's trying everywhere to get up the inside, the outside. Can't get a line on him. And now he does. He leads on him. Jones is gone. Round he goes, Jones. Oh, what a disappointment. He has put in a fantastic drive so far with Murphy, but now out of business. And look at the dent in the side of the car.
Well, something was going to give. And here's, inside Jones's cage.
Hear him revving and trying to keep it alive. Now, this is from Brabham's point of view. He was behind. I tell you what, gave him a moment.
Yeah, well, Jones was certainly holding Morris up, and we've seen Morris, he doesn't like hanging around, and a little tappy he doesn't mind.
Okay, Paul Morris now, Brabham, they come in behind Murphy, still out there in the Audi. This has just been an amazing performance from these two cars under the conditions. Remember, they are on slicks. Now look at Morris close up very quickly around the corner. I don't think the Audi's getting too much traction around the bends. They're certainly getting in a straight line, but they can't apply it to the corners.
Well, it's funny, when they come onto the straights, it seems the Audi does get a jump, but everywhere else it's struggling.
Way comes Murphy over on the inside, trying to cover his line. Blaze of lights here, spectacular stuff. Remember, they're looking through that haze of lights, but also the water that's just ripping back on the windscreen. Morris trying everything on Murphy. Murphy giving away nothing. Oh, he's a fighter, the Kiwi, let me tell you.
Yes, I think Morris, though, he might give Murphy the same treatment he gave Jones. All around the outside, it's a long way to go.
Oh, and side by side, he squeezes through.
Yes, it's great driving. Now through the chicane. Murphy tries to hang on, no way. So Morris into the lead.
Oh, you've got to take your hat off to the two Audi boys, though. Gee whiz, haven't they made this a race under these conditions? Murphy now's got Brabham attacking him. But Murphy, I like his style. He really does drive to win under any conditions.
Now Richards, a little tap up behind Brabham.
There's Richards read out of the gearbox. You see he's in second gear. Nice and bold for him to have a look on the dashboard, and he's really working hard, but not working the wheel as much as I would have thought under these conditions.
Well, you've got to be very smooth in these conditions. You've got to get the power down, no wheel spin, and try and keep the car going in a straight line.
Alan back in the wet conditions under the drier track. He put in one of the best performances we've seen since coming out from England to compete in these series, but back a little bit in the wet.
Now under brakes, Brabham just sizing up Murphy. Now, Darryl, I'm no Alan Wilkie, but I'm saying this thing isn't going to dry out today, and the Audis have certainly had the wrong tyre selection.
Well, it's hard to believe that they elected to go on slicks, because if anything, the rain's just getting heavier and heavier, and that's why you've got to take your hat off to Murphy. This has been a great drive so far.
And Brabham gets crossed up out of that corner, and now Richards makes a move on him. Gets caught on the outside of the chicane.
Stephen Richards applying the pressure with the Alpha. This is his point of view. The lights go on Brabham's car. Whoa! Coming up so close.
Locks the front wheels going to that corner. Now he gets it back online. All over the back of Brabham's car.
Stephen Richards in the Alpha. Been a good package here at Calder Park. But the Audi of Murphy, this is one of the best drives I've seen, let me tell you, on slick tyres in these conditions. Unbelievable. The BMWs are throwing everything at him. I think it's only a matter of time, but let me tell you, what an effort.
Certainly the freight train is coming through, and Murphy's going to be feeling the pressure all the time now.
Look at the water coming back on the windscreen here. Up into sixth gear now. Watch him work the box. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Richards down the inside of Brabham. Oh, little touching. In through, yeah, muscles his way through, so he's not mucking around either.
Ah, that's a great bit of driving from Stephen Richards. That's showing maturity well beyond his years. He came right up on the inside of Brabham, just leaned on him, and round he went. So Brabham now, he's chasing Richards as Alfa Romeo.
Yes, he's very slippery through the chicane. Visibility, almost nothing.
Hardly see there. You were looking at the same thing that he was looking at, Brabham there, as he looked through that windscreen. On go the brake lights. Closes up on Murphy now. That's his next target. I can't believe Murphy has been there for this long. He's got talent.
Certainly talent, and it is a good testament to the Quattro system as well, Darryl.
Oh, yeah, but you've got to be able to keep it on the island. He's done a great job. Now here's an opening. Richards now smells a hole. Goes in. Can he capitalise? Look at the Audi. Gets the power down again and all the traction he wants.
That is astounding the way the Audi gets on that straight. And Murphy moves to the inside to guard his position for under brakes.
What a dice you're looking at. This is driving with Jeff Brabham. Look at the water coming back off the Alpha. Down they go. Works the box in second now. Nose to tail. Murphy, Richards, Brabham. What a dice.
Yes, now you've got to be very careful to get through here, not to wheel spin too much. Now Richards, he tries to move inside the Audi. I think he's got to get past the Audi soon. He's putting an enormous amount of pressure on Murphy.
Well, you can say Murphy's drive has been great, and I'll say that to anybody, but Richards has shown a lot of creativity. He's done about everything he can to get around him, but once he gets in a straight line, he can't. Now under brakes, maybe.
Here's a go. He's really closing up, but now he's got to try and stay with him through this part and try and be very close to him as he comes on the straight. Little tap there.
But as you can see, Murphy still holding out. Can he hang on? Back shortly. Welcome back. Gee whiz, we've seen some action here at Calder Park.
And here's the battle of the privateers. Pickett, Adderton in the Peugeot, and Justin Matthews still leading the Toka Privateers Cup. Still hanging in there in these very wet conditions. Whoa, Pickett!
Pickett has gone into the picket fence. And they've got no fence pilings. It's just solid concrete. Oh, bad little nasty shot.
And that's just exactly what we were talking about as they come onto the main straight and they hit that drag strip fluid. They just lose traction, and remember Mark Scaife had a big accident at Eastern Creek under the same circumstances.
Yeah, it is. It's okay the dry, but it's very, very slippery in the wet. Something has to be done about the racetracks that do run drag cars. All right, back to the race with Jeff Allen. He's been back a bit in the wet. He hasn't been able to handle it. 4 gear, you see on the dashboard there. But look at the vision. It's like zero.
Yeah, and look at his windscreen, Darren. You can hardly see through it. It's just misting right up now.
The reason he's back a bit, but it's Richards now still attacking Murphy. If this has not been one of the best wet weather drives from Murphy, it had to happen. It had to happen. The Kiwi gets on the grass. But I tell you what, it's been a great performance, and the crowd have loved every second of it. Richards had said, that's enough, let me through.
This is out of Richards' car. Now he's coming through. Moves down the inside. Bang! Get out of my way. I'm coming through.
Well, Murphy did a terrific job to hold on as long as he could there. Richards now, he gets a bit of space. Brabham comes up beside him as well because he's now with Allen right on his tail. You've got to feel sorry for Murphy, but what a job so far. I tell you what, this kid has got a lot of ability. He can drive anything.
Certainly, he's done very well. He did very well in Formula Brabham, and now in touring cars, he's certainly taking it up to the experienced campaigners.
Morris, nice and smooth and doing it the right way in the wet. He leads now from Richards. Also, Brabham is there and Allen. So it's Morris, Richards, Brabham and Allen.
From a championship point of view, you look at the BMWs, they've just been so consistent. They haven't broken down. Their drivers have kept out of trouble, and that's what it takes to win the title.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, they don't mind racing each other. We saw that in the dry conditions when Brabham and Morris really came side by side. There's Belinda Price, of course, caught fire. First time out here at Calder, but she's doing a good job. She's back into 12th position, but at least she's handling the wet conditions very well.
No, doing very well indeed. And this car was prepared by the Box Hill Tape College. They're actually building a new car, a Camry, which they hope to campaign later in the year.
Yeah, Tape, haven't they been a big help to motorsport? Bathurst every year, they do a great job. Richards, now Richards, he's got a problem, he's diving. Oh, that looks like pit road to me. Yes, he is.
Certainly slowed down dramatically. I don't know what's going on there.
Well, that's
his lights are off.
Yeah, he's lost all electrics, I'd say, although there's a blinker working.
So I don't know, but it looks like the end of his race. That's bad luck for Stevie, which has been so quick and just had a lot of problems, either being knocked off or had problems, mechanical problems with the car.
Just can't keep it together for the entire race. Now we look at Jeff Brabham as he works his way down in behind Paul Morris. These two have run nose and tail for most of the season. And gee whiz, they know each other's styles by now. Brabham, of course, adapting to these sort of cars after the sort of cars that he's driven at Le Mans. And of course, in America in the sports car series over there, the IPSCA series, very successful. Now they're nose to tail, making their way up the hill. Let's go down to pit lane and see what Steve Richards has got to say.
just we had an electrical problem with the car, with the lights on and the wipers. The alternator couldn't cop it, and just slowly as the race went on, the battery voltage was dropping down, and that's why I switched the lights off, because just try and maintain it. But never mind, that's the way it goes.
He's got a good knowledge of that motor car, hasn't he, already? He's had the problems to sort out, but a very mature drive.
And pretty philosophical about his problems as well, Darryl. But now look at Brabham really starting to apply the pressure to Morris.
Well, we've said there's no team orders. Brabham up on the long way round now. Has a look. Morris says you're going to do that. You've got a long way to go past and almost to touch him if there wasn't just a little kiss.
And we've seen this so often that Brabham, whoa, when he gets a bit wide there, loses a lot of ground. Now, they've only got about a lap to go, so I think that could then, it looks like Brabham's slowing down.
Yeah, well, they're on the last lap there. I think Brabham decided he was going to have one last lunge at him. He got it all wrong and lost a lot of ground. He's still in second position, of course, but I think it would say now I'll be second to Morris again. As you can see, maybe the car, something's gone off on it, because he has dropped back and some of the other cars getting up through the inside.
And now Morris is doing pretty comfortably most of the race, and he comes across for a well-deserved win.
Morris gets a little loose as he brings it onto the straight for the last time round. Been a great performance from Paul Morris. Gee whiz, he's a better driver than most people give him credit for, I'll tell you that. So Morris takes the win under conditions here that you can only call atrocious. Jeff Brabham, he goes across the line. He had a big effort on the last lap and couldn't make it. Recapping the results for you, Paul Morris and Jeff Brabham in the Diet Coke team. Jeff Allen came in third in the Pulse Hype fourth, and it's Brad Jones in the Audi, Greg Murphy in the Audi, Tony Scott, Moore and Adderton. Now the results continue here as we go down through the list. Matthews, Hardman, Ellery and